In the vast wilderness of Yellowstone, thousands of bison now roam, waging an ancient battle against the snowstorms. But every winter there comes a time when the snow falls too deep, and these powerful animals can no longer find food. A led animal gives the signal that it is time to move. Guided by instinct and experience, the bison go in a long line following their leader. This is the start of their migration. These journeys represent some of the most incredible spectacles in the natural world. One of the most shocking in scale is the Great Migration of East Africa. More than 1 million wildebeest and thousands of zebras never stop running forward in a never-ending journey to find fresh grazing and water. The roads and sceneries of this ancient route have been carved deep into their collective memory. Their journey is a 600-kilometer-long circuit that runs through the ecosystems of Kenya and Tanzania. Two majestic rivers, the Grumeti and the Mara, cross their paths, and the herds are forced to make perilous crossings. The wildebeest have about a month to take advantage of the opportunities for food in any one area. After that, the Great Migration will continue to move, leaving the river valleys behind for another year. Each river has its own character. The Grumeti River can be slow, narrow, and rugged. Its appearance is like a chameleon. It changes seasonally and promises surprises around every corner, making it a very difficult place to hunt. The crocodiles in this area have to be incredibly hardworking, flexible, and must master different hunting strategies as required by the different conditions along the river. This is a place of constant struggle between life and death. The Mara River, a deep channel running between high and narrow banks, presents a different challenge. Wherever the wildebeest choose to cross, the dangerous conditions are much the same. The Mara crocodiles are deep-water ambush experts, and no herd crosses the river without facing this gauntlet. The crocodiles know the herds are coming. Far away, just outside a grassland, a different kind of migration takes place. In a dense forest with an area of more than half a square kilometer, 10 million straw-colored fruit bats are gathering. This is one of the largest known populations of bats in the world. By sheer numbers, it is the largest mammal migration on Earth. This special green, humid forest provides the bats with a comfortable home during the heat of the day. They flock together, taking up every available space by using a claw at the top of their wings to cling to and climb on the branches. In the dense canopy, they can look like a swarm of ants, and their small, fox-like faces have earned some bat species the moniker of flying foxes. Each bat is only about 8 inches long, but has an impressive wingspan of up to 2.5 feet. Their wings are formed from a curved layer of skin, supported by thin, finger-like bones that control the wings' stiffness and shape. Unlike insect-eating bats, fruit bats do not use echolocation, but instead rely on their excellent eyesight and sense of smell. For a young bat, perhaps only 4 months old, this journey from its birth cave in the Congo to the forests of Zambia is its first. It is part of a giant flock, a colossal super colony where millions of animals gather. There is safety in such overwhelming numbers, but keeping such a huge group together is a difficult task. If they separate, it could be a disaster, especially for the young. Another great migration is that of the African buffalo. A herd of 1,000 strong animals may be made up of 50 distinct family groups. They all move together, finding protection in their numbers. The herd needs a strategy to maintain its cohesion. A few individuals often go first, acting as reliable pathfinders. They lead the others towards grasslands and springs. They are not necessarily the leaders in a hierarchical sense, but maybe the most experienced animals. They are often chosen to take on this role, and where these buffalo go, others will follow. But the level of organization may be even higher. The young calves are always kept safe in the center of the herd, with their mothers and other protective adults. The lone sick or injured individuals are often pushed to the periphery of the group. The pathfinders at the front of the herd must always be aware of the danger of lions attacking the calves. When one buffalo runs, the entire herd takes action, and all of them will move as one. This time, a slow-moving adult became a victim of a lion attack, but the calves were kept safe. and the herd's defensive strategy proved effective. By saving the calves, the future of the buffalo herd is protected and maintained. In the Oyamel fir forests of central Mexico, another migration reaches its destination. The unique living environment on these mountains is a heritage from a colder and wetter past. Now only 2% of the original Oyamel fir forest remains. The trees here are heavy with millions of monarch butterflies. These individuals belong to a super generation. These butterflies have survived a 3,000-mile journey from Canada and the northern United States. They came here 5 months ago and have survived the winter in a state of hibernation, similar to a bear. They need the warmth of the spring sun to wake up. When the first rays of the sun arrive, they have no time to waste. They begin to fly into the sky, with millions of individuals taking wing. Their only goal now is to find a life partner. For the males, the choices seem endless. But for a monarch, butterfly in Mexico, finding a mate is its last great act. Whether the butterfly is successful or not, this is also its last week of life. Here is a male easily recognized by the 2 scent spots on his wings. He needs to mate, and luck has come to him as he finds a lone female monarch. The mating time of a pair of monarch butterflies is about 30 minutes to 1 hour. This allows them to mate multiple times and lay more eggs. In a single mating, the male can lose a third of his body weight. An overexcited male may sometimes anger the female. Now the female is carrying hundreds of fertilized eggs. This female, and millions of other females like her, must now enter the second phase of this huge migration. They will fly back to the north through Mexico and into the United States. There they will find milkweed plants their food source and a safe place to lay their eggs. Here they will give birth to the next generation, which will continue the journey north. As for the males, their journey ends here. His life has been given for the future of his species, but his offspring will be the next generation. They and the generations after them will eventually be strong enough to fly 3,000 miles back to these ancient forests. In the waters off Florida, another gentle giant seeks refuge from the cold. Manatees are huge, gentle creatures that cannot stand water temperatures below 68 degrees. Fahrenheit 20 degrees Celsius for a long time. They will move inland to find warmth from Florida's natural freshwater springs. A hotspot for them is the Crystal River, where hundreds of manatees gather in the winter. A similar story also takes place on the Atlantic coast of Florida, but from here, it takes a little more effort to get to the warm water springs. One manatee left the Atlantic a few days ago. It is on a journey through rivers, lakes, and channels to reach a deep winter sanctuary in the center of Florida. It may have to go more than 100 miles inland to get to these warm springs, but it has no other choice. If it stays in the Atlantic, when the water gets too cold, it can get cold stress syndrome and die. With a weight of about 200 pounds, it is not light at all. But surprisingly, manatees have relatively little body fat to protect them from the cold. On the 3rd morning of its journey, it has reached its destination, Silver Springs State Park. The river here presents a beautiful picture in winter. When the sun rises, the warm air from the temperate river is blown into the cool, foggy morning air. Millions of gallons of fresh water from the aquifer are poured into Silver Springs every day. Most importantly, the water temperature is always maintained at a constant 72 degrees Fahrenheit 22 degrees Celsius, perfect for resisting the cold in this tiring winter season. Here, it can rest-eat aquatic plants and wait until spring calls it back to the Atlantic Ocean. The winter snowstorm in Yellowstone is a strange confrontation of powerful natural forces. The snow can fall to a terrible depth. Very few species are prepared to resist these harsh weather conditions. But 2 million winters have passed, forming an animal that has been trying to exist here for a long time, long after other animals have fled south. It is the American bison. A massive head and a muscular hump on its back can be used like a snowplow to clear the snow and find the buried grass beneath. A thick fur coat and layers of fat help to prevent snow and cold winds from reaching its skin. These animals bring the spirit of winter with them in every step. They are the descendants of the last surviving wild bison herds. In the past, the westward expansion of humans almost led to the extinction of the bison. In the 1800s, the herds with numbers in the tens of millions were slaughtered mercilessly. By the end of the 19th century, only a few hundred bison were left hidden in a remote valley in Yellowstone. These surviving bison have become the source of the species' revival. Yellowstone is now the habitat of thousands of wild bison, and they continue to wage their ancient battle with the snowstorms. But every winter, there comes a time when the snow falls too deep for even these resilient animals to find food. The bison herd begins to gather and form a line. A lead female, a matriarch, will signal that it is time to move, following the guidance of instinct and experience. The bison follow the herd under the guidance of this lead cow. This is the beginning of their migration. As the night falls, the herd leaves the high valley and heads towards the lower, warmer elevations. In another part of the world, a lead bird can create a wave of movement and sound. They signal the abundance of a place like the Izembek National Wildlife Refuge. There are currently 500 species of birds recorded here, including various waterfowl and at least 48 species of shorebirds. This is their temporary home. Here, migratory birds look for invertebrates and soft vegetation in the vast eelgrass beds before returning to their journey along the Great Pacific Flyway. The United Nations declared this area a World Heritage Site in 1999. The biodiversity found here is hard to find anywhere else on Earth. Like, share, and subscribe to Before Us.